Petra. It's very nice to have you in Baku. Thanks for coming. Thanks for giving the interview for Nargis magazine.
So I grew up in a small town.
Yes.
Every weekend I was at the mountains with my grandparents, every holiday. And
Yeah.
that's very much the,
Yeah.
being in touch with the nature. And we were learning with my sister, when you go to the forest, you're quiet, so you don't disturb the animals and the deers.
So you respect the nature.
You don't step on flowers, you don't kick into mushrooms.
Yes.
You are very, very considerate. So I grew up in a very sort of simple way, connected to nature, but I absolutely love that. My best memories for childhood are from nature, being in nature. Absolutely, because there's no other city like New York. What I love about New York is you have the most amount of, it's like a fertile ground of opportunities.
Yeah.
And when you pick an opportunity, you can grow it the fastest way. I used to live in many different countries,
Yes.
from Italy
Yes.
to in Milan and in Paris, in London, in New York for 14 years.
Yes.
But now I moved in January to Haiti. It was a very hard experience.
Yes.
And I never heard the word tsunami. I never knew what it was.
Yeah.
So it was quite surreal when it happened because I couldn't sort of understand. Everything happened very, very fast because once the wave comes,
Yeah.
it's just, there's no escape. And then I've heard people screaming, and then I look out of the window and there's a pool, and so people were running frantically. And, and then seconds later, the water broke all the glass and everything started to collapse. And, you start drowning and you have glass cutting you. And then many different things happen from my pelvis being broken in 4 places, drowning and not being able to breathe, so drinking the black water. When the water came, it was very high. And then also when you think water, when it comes very fast, is like a concrete. And you have like the doors and the trees and everything's pushing on you. So it's very it's very powerful. And then but when the water came, it was the height of the palm trees. So that's why I was able to hold on to the palm leaves. And I think only for a little bit during those 8 hours, because it was heavy sun, and I was very, very cut and my pelvis broken. I think I fainted a couple of times. I was very alert the whole time. Only when I was at the end, I was able to hold on to the palm tree for 8 hours. I heard children screaming for help, and they, after half an hour,
Stop screaming.
That means they can't hold on. That means they are gone. And that was the hardest, not having a choice to help. I couldn't. There was absolutely no way for me to do it. But when I went back to Thailand, I went with my sister and a few friends, and that's when we visited shelters and hospitals and temporary schools, and that's when I seen children where they lost a mom, dad, siblings, sometimes 11 members of their family.
Oh, yeah.
And they were sleeping on a concrete, on a bare floors. And they didn't look at you like this, they looked through you. And but that time I had the choice to help them. So it was not like when I was on a palm tree. Was published in 2005, which means that not even a year later after the tsunami happened. So when the tsunami happened, a few months later, I got approached by a publisher to write the book. And first I said no, because it was too emotional and I never before really spoken about my private life, because I keep my private life very private. So, and then I said no, and then I was thinking about it, and we started to create a foundation. And I knew that with the money which I get for the from the publishing of the book, I can build a school. So I was like, okay, it's worth it. So then we wrote the book, and it was actually a beautiful journey. I really enjoyed the writing process. It was a sort of a storytelling and sharing.